Hare Krishna. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananchara Sanakyam Sakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandegam Sri Gurum Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajadam Sagagana Raghunathan Vitam Tamsa Jivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagagana Lalitam Sri Visakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhum Denavanto Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kantam Radha Kanta Namostude Tapta Kanchana Gauranki Radhe Vrindhavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gauravakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. My dear respected Nodip Mataji, my dear Prabhujis, my dear Matajis, it's a very, very great pleasure for me to be with all of you today, probably after a very long time since I happen to be in Australia. Unfortunately, I'm unable to attend our Bhakti Vriksha classes because the timing of factor by the time it becomes 11 o'clock for me, it becomes a little difficult. I could not. Anyway, a very great pleasure to be here. Today, we are going to talk about a wonderful topic in Srimad Bhagavatam. Even though every topic in Bhagavatam is a wonderful one, somehow Canto 7, Prahalad Maharaj activities and activities of Narasimhadev, the incarnation, they are really wonderful topics to chant and hear. And I am extremely glad that I have been given that opportunity, though I am really still even now wondering why Mataji of all the people chose me. I do not know, but anyhow, it is purely our Narasimhadev's wish that I should be given that opportunity. I am very, very grateful to Mataji for that the purpose to reciting few slokas and also talking to you about whatever little I learned from Srimad Bhagavatam. I would like to share with you today. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Dado Jayamutiraye. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam, as all of you know, it is the essence of Vedas. It is not possible in this Kali Yuga for us to read the Vedas and Upanishad and comprehend them that easily. That is why Vyasa Bhagavan, by the grace of mercy of Lord, has given us this Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavan says to Uddhava, when Uddhava is lamenting that Bhagavan is going to leave this world after 125 years, he is lamenting that you are leaving us and you are leaving the Dharma also will go. He is lamenting at the time. Bhagavan says, I am not going anywhere. I am in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam only. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam, there is no difference between Srimad Bhagavatam and Lord Krishna. Krishna is Srimad Bhagavatam is Sri Krishna. That is the assurance Bhagavan gives to Uddhava in Canto 11 before leaving this world. This is such a wonderful grantha we have been given by Vyasadeva. So we pay respect to Vyasadeva also before starting this. Now, Bhagavatam, as you all of you know, is being recited by Sukadeva Goswami to Parishit Maharaj. I'm not going into details of that because that is a different story altogether. I don't know. Probably in another time, if we get the opportunity, we'll talk about that. So Sukadeva Goswami, Parishit Maharaj is asking a question. My dear Brahmana, how come the Lord so blissful and so impartial? How come he becomes so partial in killing the demons for the sake of Indra? His Lord, in that case, is not impartial. We are all thinking he is impartial, but he is not impartial. He seems to be favoring the Devas and unfavorable to the Asuras or Rakshasas, which is not his character. He is supposed to be, equal to all, is it not? Then you should please clarify this doubt to me, he is asking. Sukadeva Goswami says, this is chapter 1, 7, Canto 7, chapter 1. Sukadeva Goswami says, you have put an intelligent question to me, Maharaj, but such a doubt has arisen to you because we human beings are under the influence of three modes of nature, namely this Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. Whereas Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, is above all these things. He is not under the control, but he is a controller of the three modes of material nature. Therefore, these material modes of nature doesn't even touch Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu. Therefore, the question of partiality or impartiality is only for us material beings like us, living beings like us, not for Lord, who is above these material modes of nature. In this context, therefore, he says, Lord does not have any friend or enemy. Everybody is friend only, no enemy to Lord. In this context, Sukadeva Goswami tells Parishit Maharaj about the conversation between Narada Muni and Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yudhishthira Maharaj, at the end of this Rajashuga Yaga, in which Shishupal was killed by the Sudarshan Chakra of Lord, he asked a question. My dear Narada Muni, I am astonished to see how Shishupal is merged in the effulgence of the Lord. He is merging with the Lord. When Lord uses this Sudan Chakra and slays him, he is merging in the effulgence of the Lord. How is it possible? He is a demon. He was right from the childhood, he was only blaspheming the Lord. How he could merge with the Lord whose nature is entirely different? He is astonished. So Narada Muni says, see, we are all having the bodily conception of, that is, we identify ourselves with the body. We associate all the activities relating to the body as ours. That is why the question of good, bad, evil, good, chastisement, praising, all those things is come to us. Bhagavan is Nirguna. Nothing is applicable to him. For him, whether you praise him or you chastise him, whether you criticize him, he treats everything as equal. Nothing affects him. He is not glorified. Just because you glorify him, he is not glorified. He is already glorious only. So all this duality is applicable only for living entities like us, not to Bhagavan. You should understand that. That is why whether he is a demon or whether he is a deva, Bhagavan treats everybody as equal. He told 5 things for that. See, you can attain Lord by your devotional service. You can attain Lord purely by fear, always thinking about him. Out of your affection, you can attain Lord. Out of your envy, you can attain Lord. Out of lusty desires, you can attain Lord. All these people, ultimate destination is the same. Different margas are there, but destination is the same. He tells an example of gopis by their lusty desires, they attained the mercy of the Lord. Then this Shishupal, Dandavakra, and other kings who were always enemies of him, they attained the Lord, mercy of the Lord. Kamsa, always fear, but always thinking of Lord Krishna, he also attained the mercy of the Lord. And Yadus and Pandavas like you, out of our affection, familial relationship, they attained the mercy of the Lord. And people, sages like me, they attain the mercy of the Lord out of devotion service. So there are different margas are there, but destination goal is the same. All of us get the mercy of the Lord, so long as you are able to fix your mind. These Shishupal and Dandavakra, they are your cousins. They were cursed by Brahmanas in the the Vaikuntha Loka, and that is how they are born here, and they get killed by Krishna, and they go back to the Vaikuntha Loka. Then Yudhishthira become very curious. How come these people in Vaikuntha Loka, they are always under the Sattva they are all. How can they be cursed? How can they come down to earth? Who cursed them? Why they cursed them? So at that time, Narada Muni says, see, once upon a time, these Sanat Kumaras are four people, four brothers. So Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara. They are all Brahma's Mansika Putras. Though by virtue of their age, they are very senior people, always they will look like some 5 years or 6 year old naked children. Once they went to Vaikuntha Loka to have a darshan of Lord Narayana. At the time, what happens? These Dwarapalakas, Jaya and Vijaya, thinking these four children, naked children, very ordinary people without knowing their value, they stopped these Sanat Kumaras from entry into the Vaikuntha Loka. These Sanat Kumaras got angry. See, you two people are under the influence of Tamogun and Rajogun, which does not have any place in this Vaikuntha Loka. You are unfit to be here. Therefore, they cursed both the people to be born in a sinful, demonic family. When they realized their mistake, the Dwarapalakas, Jaya and Vijaya, anyhow, they are having always this, rishis are always merciful also. They will curse, but they will very, very merciful always. They said, anyhow, after 3 births, you will be back to the same position in Vaikuntha Loka. With that, they said. So these 3 births are Hiranyakshaka, Hiranyakasipu, and Hiranyakshaka. That took place in Satyuga. And then the second is Ravana and Kumbhakarna in Treta Yuga. And third one is Shishupal and Dantavagra in Dwapara Yuga. Hiranyakshaka and Hiranyakashipu was killed by Lord Vishnu, and Ravana Kumbhakarna by Lord Ramchandra in Treta Yuga, and Shishupal and Dantavagra by Lord Krishna in Dwapara Yuga. That is how this story starts, or Katha starts of Prahalad Maharaj. Now, this Yudhishthira became again very curious and asking, how come this Hiranyakashipu developed such an animosity toward his son Prahalad? Why he had enmity towards Lord Vishnu? How this Prahalad Maharaj became such a great devotee of Lord Vishnu? You should explain in detail. He is asking Narada Muni. Narada Muni starts telling the story. So the Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyakshaka are very, very affectionate brothers. Once this Hiranyakshika, what he does, he takes the earth and hid it under the ocean bed. So Bhagavan has to take the form of a boar, fight with this demon Hiranyakshika for several years. Very, very powerful demon he was. So fought with him, killed him, and brought back the earth to its place. So when Hiranyakasipu came to know that his very affectionate brother Hiranyakshika has been killed by Vishnu, he became furious. He says, Lord Vishnu is supposed to be impartial. Now he has joined, he is now very favorable to these Devas, and he has given up his impartiality. He is now supporting Devas. Like that, he started thinking, and he took a vow that I will kill this Lord Vishnu, take his blood and offer this blood to the soul of my brother, who will be very happy. I am also will be relieved. In that process, all these devas, demigods also will slowly die, because Lord Vishnu is their life and soul. They also will die. Poor fellow, these fellows never know what is the omnipotency of the Lord. He thought the Lord Vishnu as another, just like another ordinary being whom he is fighting and killing. Like that, he also thought Vishnu also is like that, another person like that, he thought, and kill him easily. Simultaneously, he also ordered one thing: you go and kill all the Brahmanas and sages in this world. So because these Brahmanas are the people who maintain the peace and prosperity of this, not only this earth, but also of all the other planets. Once all these yajnas are stopped, automatically the benefit of the yajnas, if it doesn't reach these devas, their power, they derive only from the yajnas performed by the brahmanas and sages. Once it is stopped, they also will wither away. Like that he ordered. So the demonic soldiers very faithfully, they went to the earth, killed the brahmanas, destroyed the cities and towns, burnt all the trees, did havoc. They caused real havoc. So once these yajnas are stopped, really these devas become powerless. They started wandering everywhere in the universe. This is the chapter 2. In chapter 3, this Hiranyakashipu, what he thought, now I should take revenge against Vishnu. What I should do, I should become immortal for that. Vishnu, he knows, is very powerful. So to kill him, I should become immortal. I should not be afflicted by any disease or old age. I should become the ruler of the entire universe. So what should I do for that? So he decided that he should do some very severe penance or austerities. He thought I should do that. Therefore, by doing that, I will become, once some benedictions are obtained, I will become very powerful and I will be able to kill this Vishnu easily. That's what he thought. So with that intention, he entered Mantrachala mountain, valley of the Mantrachala mountain. Then he started being a very severe penance. The penance was so severe that he stood only on his toes on the land, keeping both hands upwards facing the sky. No food, no water, nothing. In that manner, for thousands of years, he was doing that penance like that. When he did such a severe austerities, terrible heat emanated from his head. The whole universe was being burnt by that heat emanated from his head. So the living entities find it unbearable for them to live in that heat. All the devas and the sages, they took refuge of Lord Brahma and requested that he should do something to save this world from the heat emanating from the head of this person, this demon, Hiranyakashipu. But the devas know the purpose for which he is doing that. They also tell Brahma that he is doing this penance only for the purpose of acquiring some benedictions from you, so that he will be able to kill Lord Vishnu. So Brahma, accompanied by Bhrigu, Daksha and other sages, he went to Mantrachala mountain, and Brahmaji was really astonished. He was really astonished by the kind of austerities that this demon is doing. Brahmaji was astonished, because he said, nobody in this three world has done this kind of austerities. I have not seen anybody has done. His entire body was completely eaten away by ants and worms. His life air was circulating only within his bones. There was nothing. A heap of bones was standing there. That's all. Nothing was there. Because thousands of years, so all the ants and worms have eaten away everything. Flesh was not there. Only some bones were there. Lord Brahma, very mercifully, he took a spiritual water from his kamandalu and sprinkled on this bone and called Hiranyakashipu, you come out. I am Brahma, I am come here. You are meditating upon me. Now I am present before you. I am willing to give any benediction that you desire. You come up. So Hiranyakashipu, once the sprinkled water touches his bone, he became very young, very strong, and molten gold color. Hiranya means gold, So that is why he is called Hiranyakashipu. Molten gold color he became. Very strong, very young. He offered a lot of praise to Brahma, prostrated before Brahma, and offered so many prayers. And Brahma told, yes, you tell what you want. I will, whatever you desire, I will fulfill. the demon, he gave a big list to Brahmaji. The list includes: 1, I should not be killed either in the residence, within the residence, or outside the residence. List 2, I should not be killed either at night or at the daytime. List number 3, I should not be killed either on the land or in the sky. List number 4, I should not be killed by any animal. I should not be killed by any human being. I should not be killed by any snake in the Patal Lok. I should not be killed by any demigod. List number 5, I should not be killed by any weapon. List number 6, I should become the ruler and emperor of the entire universe. List number 7, I should get all the Siddhis, mystic power. Ashtama Siddhis is called. The mystic power, Lagima, Magima, so many things are there. No? All Ashtasiddhis. All I should get all these powers. In short, I should not be killed by any of your creation. He asked for such a complex boon from Brahmaji. The problem with great demigods like Brahma and Lord Shiva is that once a devotee does penance, severe penance, meditating upon them and asks for some boon, they cannot say no. They cannot say no. They have the power to offer because they have been delegated the power by Lord Vishnu, Krishna. So they have to give. So Brahmaji, no other go, he has to give that benediction to him. Tadastu, he said Tadastu, yes, given. So now this demon has got whatever he wanted. You can imagine what will be his state of mind at that time. Now he is extremely powerful. Nobody is there in the universe to oppose him. He defeated all the rulers in all the planets. And he became the emperor of all the 3 lokas. All the demigods were defeated. They hid themselves somewhere. So he went to the heaven, Indraloka. He occupied the throne of Indra, and he started ruling the entire universe, sitting there. And he led a very luxurious life. All the demigods became his servants. All the Navagraha, for information, each Navagraha became the stepping stone to his throne. So, except Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, all other people became his servants or under his control today. And in the earth, all the yajnas were stopped. No Brahmana could start, do any yajna, immediately he will be killed. That was the instruction given to the soldiers, killed. No yajna. All people were chanting only his name. Om Namo Hiranyakashipuve Namaha. Om Hiranyakashipuve Namaha. All yajnas are performed Hiranyakashipuve Namaha. Om Hiranyakashipuve Swaha. That is what it was going like that. No, all the 3 names of gods were chanted by nobody dared to chant. Unable to bear this kind of agony inflicted upon them, Brahmanas, sages, and many rulers of the planets who were hiding somewhere, they surrendered to Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu says, he gave an assurance to them, I know your problems. I will protect you. Yes, he has armed himself with so many benedictions. And it is not easy to kill him today because the benedictions is protecting him. But a day will come. He will harm my very dear devotee Prahalad, who is going to be born as a son to him. On that day, I will appear. I will kill him, even though, notwithstanding the fact he has armed himself with enormous benedictions from Brahma. In spite of that, I will come and kill him. You all wait till that patiently. That assurance Bhagavan gave to all these people. So they left for their respective homes, hoping that Lord has given the assurance, Lord will do that. Then this Hiranyakashipu had 4 children from his wife Kayatu. Her name is Kayatu, Mother Kayatu. He had 4 children, and one among them is this Prahalad. He's the best child of all the 4. Prahalad Maharaj, though he is born in a Asura family, his character is entirely different. He is a pure devotee of Lord Vishnu, Narayana. He is a very sober person. And he was never interested in playing. Even he was just 5 years old, he never indulged in playing. Normally a child will be playing, 4 years, 5 years, playing with his friends. So many demonic friends were there. So many servants are waiting to serve him, but he never did all those things. He treated everybody as his friend, very affectionate to all. There was no enmity towards anybody. So in short, all the characteristics of a pure devotee, how he should be, Prahalad Maharaj had. In fact, Narada Muni says to Yudhishthira in chapter 4, verse, I think it is 36, I think, he defines the character of Prahalad Maharaj. My dear Yudhishthira, it is very difficult for me to explain the characteristics of Prahalad. He has a natural attraction for Lord Krishna. If you insist that I should explain his characteristics, whatever I explain, it will be only an arrangement of words, because it is impossible for me to describe his characteristics. What kind of words, Narada Rishi is telling about Prahalad Maharaj. What else is needed? I need not describe much about what the characteristics of and other features of Prahalad Maharaj, because Narada Muni himself says it is impossible for me to describe his characters. If I try to explain, it will be only an arrangement of words. That was the words used by Narada Muni. So you can from this understand what will be the state of Prahalad Maharaj. Narada Muni says that he is Maha Bhagavata. Maha Bhagavata, he says, is not a normal person. And I was reading a lecture by Prabhupada somewhere in 11th February 1976 in Mayapur. A question was asked to Prabhupada, how come at a young age of 5 years, Prahalad Maharaj was such a devotee? Prabhupada says, he is a Maha Bhagavata. For being a Maha Bhagavata, one must be a devotee. That means for being a devotee, bhakti. Bhakti is the thing. So bhakti doesn't depend on your age or your other qualification like beauty, wealth. Nothing is there. Prabhupada also says he is a real Nitya Siddha Purusha. The word, first time I saw while reading that, Nitya Siddha Purusha. Then when asked what is Nitya Siddha Purusha, Prabhupada explains there are a lot of people in the Vaikuntha planet always chanting and glorifying the Lord. They never come down here. Such people are called Nitya Siddhas. And Prahalad was actually a Nitya Siddha. And under the instruction of Lord Vishnu, he has come as Prahalad Maharaj here. That's what Prabhupada explains. We did not see it in Bhagavatam, probably. Prabhupada might have read so many things he has read from some other Puranas, it must have been there. So that is why he is called Nitya Siddha Maha Bhagavata. That's what Prabhupada explains about the characteristics of Prahalad Maharaj. Now, at the age of 5, for like any child, Hiranyakashipu decides to send him to Gurukul. On those days, no school, only Gurukul. Even though emperor, king, their sons also will go to Gurukul only. So, for these asuras, he was interested to Sanda and Amarka, two spiritual masters. They were sons of Sukracharya, by the way. Sukracharya was their spiritual master, always for these Rakshas, Asuras. Like Brihaspati is for Devas, for Sukracharya is for the Asuras. Their sons is Sanda and Amarka, and Prahalad Maharaj was sent under their care. He was sent to the Gurukul. And I read somewhere at that time, Sukracharya was not there. He had gone for Tirtha Yatra. He knows what is going to happen. So he was not there. He didn't want to take that. So he left it to his sons, Sanda Amarka. So he went to the Gurukul. In the Gurukul, for children of king and other demonic asuras, they always used to teach about politics, economic development, and religion, and other sense gratificatory subjects. All those things will be taught to them. Though Prahalad Maharaj recited, learned everything, but he was not very keen, very interested, because politics means there is a question of enemy friendship concept will always be there. How to punish an enemy, how to reward a friend, how to discriminate between people. All those things are involved in politics. Prahalad Maharaj is a pure devotee. For him, this friendship, enemy, those concepts are not at all. He doesn't know them. So he doesn't like those subjects very much. Anyhow, because he's in Gurukul, he learned it, though he didn't like that. After some time he came to palace, and this Hiranyakashipu, with a great affection, he asked him a question. My dear son Prahalad, you are there in Gurukul you are there for this time. What is the best you think you learned in the Gurukul during your stay? Prahalad Maharaj said, dear father, in the Gurukul, the best thing I learned was this material life is full of miseries. It is like falling into a deep well, dark well without any water. There is no point in living in this material world like this. You should give up this world, go to forest, that take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Hari and do penance. That is the best thing I learned, father. Hiranyakashipu laughed loudly. He laughed. How come you learned this thing in this Gurukul? I think some of the Vaishnavas, they should, in disguise, they should have come to Gurukul and taught you all these things, I think. So there is no protection, I think, around you. So he ordered for more protection to Prahalad in the Gurukul, to ensure that nobody approaches Prahalad and mislead Prahalad. And he also told the Sanda and Amarka, the spiritual masters, you keep a very close watch on him, so that no other person other than you two can teach him anything, because this person has been now polluted by these Vaishnavas who must have come there. They are my enemies. They have come there and polluted this, my boy. It should not happen in future. Take care, beware. So with that, he asked Prahalad to go back to the Gurukul and learn this subject very attentively. So Prahalad Maharaj come back to this Gurukul. There, the spiritual masters Sanda and Amarka, they are only cajoling him, requesting him, threatening him with so many things they are doing. How come you do? How can you tell all these things to your father? We never taught you all these things. Where from you learned all these things? You should not. Prahalad Maharaj said, I got it, everything with the grace of Lord Hari, all these things I learned. He didn't, his full story he didn't tell at this time. With the grace of Lord Hari, I learned all these things. No, it is not. It is unbecoming of you. You are a prince. You are going to rule this whole world, 3 worlds. You are going to rule after some time. You should know more about this politics, religion, and other economics. All these subjects only. You should become versatile and expert, not in these devotional kind of things of no use to you. Like that, they are trying to mislead you. And it goes on like that. They start teaching him these subjects again. Though time passed like that. So once the Sanda and Amarka, they felt that Prahlad has been sufficiently taught. So he can now go back to his palace. So they produced Prahlad in the palace. Kayatu very affectionately welcomes Prahlad. She gives a very nice bath because the son is coming after a lot of time. She's coming back from Gurukul. Nice bath. She dresses, decorates him with the nice ornaments, and it tells him, "You go and take the blessings of your father. You satisfy your father. Don't make him unhappy, my dear son. You please your father." Okay. He also says, "Okay, go to father," because he is not going to displease anybody. He's not his character at all. Everybody wants to be happy. Everybody should be pleasing only. He never knows to displease others. He doesn't know at all. He goes to his father. Hiranyakashipu was seeing him so affectionately, he took him on his lap. He smells his head. Tears are flowing from Hiranyakashipu's eyes out of this parental affection. He blesses Prahlad. After blessing Prahlad, again he is asking the same question. My dear Prahlad, after a long time you have come. I know you should have learned a lot of things in the Gurukul. What is the most interesting you found in the Gurukul learning? What is the most interesting thing you found? You please tell me. I would like to hear it from you. From you, I want to hear it from you. He said, Prahlad, after prostrating his father, very humbly is telling, that is what this sloka, it's a wonderful sloka, he is telling. Sravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam. My dear father, in the Gurukul, what he learnt was one should hear and chant the glories of the Lord. One should remember the glories of the Lord. One should render service to the lotus feet of the Lord. Pada Sevanam. One should render service to the lotus feet of the Lord. One should worship the Lord with 16 types of paraphernalia, archanam. And then one should always pay obeisance to the Lord, vandanam. One should become a servant of the Lord, dasyam. One should treat Lord as his best friend, sakyam. And one should surrender to the Lord by his mind, intelligence, body, Atma Nivedanam. He should surrender everything to the Lord. That is the best thing I learned from during my Gurukul stay, my dear father. Very humbly and honestly, he will make this statement. You can imagine how Hiranyakashipu's reaction will be. He says, immediately he chastised the spiritual masters, Sanda and Amarka. What is that you two people have taught my son? Is it the purpose for which I sent my son to your Gurukul? He is talking about my enemy Vishnu. He says that I should surrender to, one should surrender to the Vishnu. This is what you are teaching him. He is taking them to task. They are frightened. Sanda Amarka are frightened because they never taught all those things. They taught only this economics or politics or religion or other sense gratificatory subjects. They never taught all these things. So they are also taken aback. They said, my dear king, you please don't scold us like that. We never taught Prahlad all these things. He has learned on his own. I don't know. We don't know. Despite the protection, despite our close monitoring of his activities, I don't know where from he has learned all these things. But we assure you, we Brahmanas never we tell lie. Please don't curse us. And insult us also. We never taught him. Then Hiranyakashipu asked him, if you have not taught, then who taught you? He is asking Prahalad Maharaj, who taught you then? Who told you all these things? Prahalad Maharaj says, my dear father, the people who are having no control over their senses and enjoying, they are only progressing towards hellish conditions, my dear father. They chew what has already been chewed. Punapunaha. That means again and again they are chewing what has been already chewed. Such people, what they do, they engage a person as their guru or leader who is also equally blind and who is also equally interested in these material objects. You will not be able to understand in this mood what is the purpose of the life, my dear father. The purpose of the life is go back to Godhead. We should go to the lotus feet of the Lord. We should serve the Lord. That is the purpose of your human life. You may not know that if you are only interested in the sense gratificatory subjects. Further, he said, if you want attachment towards Lord Hari, you should smear upon your body, the entire body, the dust from the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas. Then only you will be able to develop an attachment to Lord Hari. All of you should take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord Hari. That's what Prahalad Maharaj said, and he fell silent. Hiranyakashipu became extremely furious. The moment Prahalad Maharaj told this, he threw Prahalad Maharaj off from his lap on the ground. He threw him on the ground. He ordered his soldiers, drag him out of this place and kill him immediately. The demonic soldiers, who were very faithful servants, obedient servant of Hiranyakashipu, dragged that 5 years old Prahalad Maharaj. They dragged him outside this palace, and using their trident, they were trying to kill Prahalad. But by Lord's mercy, even the trident could not penetrate the soft skin of Prahalad Maharaj. They could not. Startled, these demonic soldiers rushed to king to tell that Prahalad Maharaj could not be killed by the sword or trident. Hiranyakashipu and these other demonic soldiers, they used several methods to kill Prahalad Maharaj. They threw Prahalad Maharaj before drunken elephants so that he will get crushed. No, the elephant did not crush him. They threw Prahalad Maharaj before extremely venomous serpents. The serpent, as soon as it saw Prahalad Maharaj, it did not harm him at all. They threw Prahalad Maharaj from the hilltop into the ocean so that he will get vanished and drowned in the ocean. Bhagavan carries him like a flower in his hands, Prahalad Maharaj. Several methods. He was starved. He was exposed in that severe heat. He was exposed in severe winter, snow, wind, everything. Whatever the methods available, even he was given poison from the hands of his own mother, Kayatu, poison, but nothing harmed him. He took the poison also. In each and every time, Bhagavan saves the Prahalad Maharaj. Prahalad Maharaj, in spite of so much tribulations, in spite of so much miseries inflicted upon him, he never became angry. He was always calm. He was always composed. He is always meditating on Lord Vishnu. So Bhagavan, out of his mercy, because he has given assurance in Bhagavad Gita, one who has surrendered unto me, I will save him in this life as well as in the next life. Bhagavan is true to his word. he saved Prahalad Maharaj from each and every danger posed to Prahalad Maharaj. Hiranyakashipu is now confused, confounded. He doesn't know what to do. What is this fellow? Could my son? He is not obeying my order, and I could not kill him also. Is it worth living at all for me in this world? With this kind of a boy, should I live in this world? Like that, he was started confused. He was wondering what to do. At the time, the Sanda Navarka once again came to the king and told the king, my dear king, he is only just a 5 years old boy. Maybe he may be under the influence of some evil forces. He says the influence of Krishna, they say, is an evil force. They may be under the influence of some evil forces. He may be. You leave him once again to us. Give us one more opportunity. You give us. We will, once he grows, once he sees the world, once he starts enjoying all these material things, he will become normal, Maharaj. You please give us one more opportunity. We will make him good. Hiranyakashipu, he was also in a very confused state of mind. He didn't know what to do. He said, okay, you make one more attempt. Okay, you make one more attempt. Take him. One more attempt. So that's the third time again Prahalad Maharaj is coming to Gurukul. There, the Sanda Namarka, they said, we will use the 4th degree. I mean, Sama, Veda, Dana, Danda. We will never hesitate, even you are a son of a king, we will never hesitate to use the Danda. And we will punish you. You should never chant or never recite all these things, devotional thing. Only you should learn, become an expert in these material subjects like again economics and politics and all those things, which is natural for son of a king and other ministers. You have to become an expert only on these things. If you talk anytime about this devotion service or Lord Vishnu and other things, we will punish you severely. What punishment Prahalad they can give? They cannot give you punishment bigger than what Hiranyakashipu has already given. Still they thought that by using a stick and another danda, they think that they can rectify. Prahalad Maharaj again, out of respect for the spiritual masters, he didn't tell anything. He is there. The Sanda Navarka, during the lunch time, they will go home. They will take their lunch. They will take some rest. They will come back again for like that going. No? During that break hours, lunch break hours, what Prahalad Maharaj will do, he will assemble all his other demonic friends. Prahalad Maharaj will talk, preaching to them about what is soul, what is devotion, what is devotional service. These material subjects, is there any use in this learning all these material subjects? What is the right way for life? What is the right thing in life? We should know worship Hari. We should know devotional service. We should render devotional service unto the lotus feet of Hari. That alone will save us from this material world and take us to the higher place above. Like that, he used to talk about all these subjects. They were also very much impressed. These demonic friends also very much impressed with what Prahalad Maharaj told them. Yet they had one doubt. They asked a doubt to them. Okay, Prahalad, all of us came together to the Gurukul. We never, the Sandamarka, our teachers did not teach all these things. How come you are able to know all these things? You are telling so much on this devotion side. You are telling so much thing. We could not understand that. You tell the truth, then only we will believe and we will follow you. He said. At the time, Prahalad Maharaj said, see, my father went to penance for the Mandara Valley Hills, a mountain. At the time, these demigods, at the time I was in the womb of my mother, Kayatu. These demigods, fearing that another demon is my mother is carrying, they wanted to kill me once she delivers. So what they did, she arrested my mother, Kayatu. They were taking her to their heavenly planet. At the time, Narada Muni, he intercepted them and asked these demigods, where you are taking this poor lady? She's a wife of Hiranyakashipu, where you are taking? They told that she is carrying another demon. One demon we are not able to manage. She is going to another demon. She is going to deliver. That's why you want to kill the demon once it comes out, and we will release her. She said, Narada Muni said, she is not carrying a demon, but she is carrying a Maha Bhagavata. You cannot kill. You cannot arrest her also. Leave it. I will take her. Out of respect for Narada Muni, these demigods also released Kayatu. Kayatu, Narada Muni said, Kayatu, my dear child, you come with me to my ashram. You be under my care until your husband comes after completing his penance. You will be under my care. I will take care of you safely. Nobody will come and disturb you there. Come. Like that, she took Kayatu. Whenever the time is there, Kayatu was pregnant at that time. She was carrying, no? Whenever time is there, Narada Muni will be teaching her about all the Bhagavata Dharma, devotion service, pastimes of the Lord, glories of the Lord, everything. That is why it is always said that when our wives or our daughters carry or become pregnant, they should always read Bhagavatam. They should always listen to these Bhagavatam kathas. Then only the son coming out of the womb will be child you will get only that way. Unfortunately, today in the material world, those things are not happening. Everybody is carrying it laptop or other gadgets, or they're seeing something else. Unfortunately, we are not able to read Bhagavatam and other things. But why we got to the Prahalad today? Because when he was in the womb of Mother Kayatu, Narada Muni taught him everything about the Bhagavata Dharma, everything about the devotional service. That is why we got Prahalad today. This child inside the womb of Kayatu, he will be always listening to what Narada Muni is telling his mother. Though it was in the womb, he was listening to that. That is how I learned all these Bhagavad Dharma and the devotion service. Prahalad explains to these demonic children. Now the demonic children also are convinced. Now everybody is chanting Narayana, 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 Narayana. All children, demonic children also chanting. Sanda Amarka entry. They were frightened to see. Right? Till now, only this fellow was chanting all these things, and now he has made all his friends also to chant this Narayana, Narayana. They were frightened. Once the king comes to know that all the entire Gurukul is chanting the Narayana name, he will kill us immediately. They know. They were frightened for their lives. Immediately what they said, enough is enough. We cannot rectify you anymore. You better go to your palace. We want to save our lives. You not only spoil yourself, you spoil the Gurukul here. No more, we want to keep you here. They took him to the palace. They gave him to the king. They told everything to the king, what happened. So Hiranyakashipu really became furious now. See, he drew his sword. Hitherto, I did not directly kill you. I employed various methods. I could not kill you. But now I will directly kill myself. I will not entrust that job to any of my generals or soldiers or any other methods. Directly I will kill you. But before killing me, tell you one thing. What is the source of your strength? Who has given you that strength to go against my wishes? Though you are born in a demonic family, you are chanting the glories of my enemy Vishnu. Who has given you the strength? He is asking. Prahalad, very honest and obedient reply, he says, my dear father, what is your strength is my strength, father. What is our strength is the strength of all the living entities. Lord Hari is he is the strength for you, for me, for the living entities. He has only given me the strength, my dear father. Lord Hari has given me the strength. Do you say that Lord Hari is more powerful than me? If I raise my eyebrows, the entire universe, all the rulers will tremble before me. You think that Hari is more powerful than me? You do not know my power. You show me where the Hari is. Where is Hari? Where is Hari? You are asking, where is Hari? Prahalad said, where he is not, my dear father. Where he is not. He is telling, where he is not. You mean to say he is in this pillar? Yes, father. He is in this pillar also. Prahalad, that's what he replies. He is in this pillar also. Then let me see how he is going to come and save you. Let me see. First I will kill him, and then next I will kill you. I will, with that, furiously he banged the pillar. Hiranyakashipu, his Hiranyakashipu hands, his strength has been defined as like a mountain. His hands are like mountain. That's what Bhagavatam says about him, about his power in the earlier topic subjects, I think, Canto 3, I think. Mountain. With that mountain strength hand, he banged the pillar. Yeah. Tumultuous sound emanated. A tumultuous sound emanated. The sound was such that many of his soldiers, by the sound, they died. It reached even the Brahmaloka and other planets. All other planetary people thought that their planets are going to be destroyed. You can imagine that sound, the roar generated by Lord Hari. You can imagine. The planets are going to be destroyed today. That was the sound it came. After some time, Lord appeared in this form, fearful form, ferocious form. He was standing as high as the sky. That much tall he was. All the paraphernalia arms he was having. His eyes were molten gold. His nails, like chisels. It was like a chisels. His tongue was like a sword. His hair was like rays of the moon. His hair, a line, no? In the form of half lion and half human being, he appeared. This is the form of Lord Hari Nrsimhadev. That is how he appeared. For the sake of his devotee, Prahalad appeared in this form. Though initially he was surprised, Hiranyakashipu, he has not seen such a form. He was surprised to see, and he was also surprised by the sound the Lord generated for initially. But he's a very brave fellow, it's a great demon, no doubt about it. He immediately swung with his sword and attacked Lord Nrsimhadev. Lord was playing with him for some time. He wanted to play with him. He didn't want to finish him off that easily, that early also. He was playing with him for some time. He caught him once, but sometimes he left him also. So this fellow thought, oh, this Hari is afraid of me. Vishnu is afraid of me. That's why he has left me, he thought. All the devas, oh my God, Lord has lifted this fellow off his hook. It is not good. He's going to, harm our Hari. So Lord was playing with him for some time. He attacked him with his mace, with his sword. Lord was evading everything. Lord was waiting for sunset. So till then he was playing with him. Then the sunset. It is neither daytime nor nighttime. Sunset. He caught him like a serpent will catch a mouse. That's what Bhagavatam says. Like a Garuda will catch a serpent. He caught this Hiranyakashipu in his hand. He took him to the doorsteps of the palace, the entrance, kept him on his lap. Using his nails, he pierced him and killed him in a moment. He killed him. Lord satisfies 4 people in this way. Prahalad says, Lord is omnipresent. Yes, he proved that. He came from the pillar, he proved Prahalad. Narada Muni says, he's a Maga Bhagavata. To keep the word, to keep the word and satisfy the word that Narada Muni said is correct, because he has to protect the Mahabhagavata. When he is in danger, he appeared. He also honored the words of Brahmaji. Brahmaji has given a benediction, 7, 8 conditions. He fulfilled everything. I will once again explain that. And he also satisfied this demon Hiranyakashipu, who has taken a boon like that. How Bhagavan appeared and how he killed him. No creation of Brahma can kill me. Yes, Bhagavan appeared as half lion and half human being. He is satisfied. No weapon can kill me. Yes, Bhagavan never used his mace or divine weapon like Sudarshan Chakra. No, he did not use them. He used his nails. He did not use any weapon. No animal or human being can kill me. Now he's half lion, half human being. So he satisfied that condition. He cannot be killed at night or the daytime. So he was waiting for the sunset. And exactly after the sunset, he killed him. He cannot be killed in the land or on the sky. So Bhagavan put him on his lap and killed him. He cannot be killed inside the house or outside the house. So Bhagavan putting him on the doorstep. Doorstep is neither inside nor outside. He sat on the doorsteps and put him on his lap and killed him. All conditions. Who can, except our Lord, who can conceive such a plan? Who can conceive such a things? Who can? Is there anybody in the universe who can imagine of such a form and killing him in such a way? Only Narasimha, Lord Vishnu can do that. Now, after killing, Lord was extremely furious because his very dear devotee has been harmed. Like a devotee can blaspheme. Who is blaspheming Lord or another devotee? A devotee can become angry. Like that, when a devotee is harmed, Lord also becomes very angry. That's what he demonstrated there. He was extremely furious. Bhagavan, he took the intestine of Hiranyakashipu, put it as a garland around his neck. His mane is soaked in blood coming from this intestine. With that, he goes to the throne of Hiranyakashipu. He sat in the throne and he was roaring. All the soldiers who tried to attack him were decimated in a moment. Nobody could pacify him. Lord Brahma is standing, Lord Shiva is standing, Indra is standing. So many sages are standing. Gandharvas are standing. Everybody is offering prayer. Everybody, first Brahma, headed by Brahma, then Lord Shiva, they offer prayer. Then Indra offers prayers. Several demigods offers prayers. Vidyadharas, they offer prayers. Gandharvas, they are offering prayers. Nagas are offering prayers. Nothing could pacify the Lord. Still was anger. Brahmaji is requesting Mahalakshmi, Lakshmi, you please go to pacify your husband. My husband? He is not my husband. My husband will not be like that. Because Mahalakshmi has never seen Bhagavan in the fearsome form. Because Bhagavan is always pleasing, she has never seen. He's always pleasing, always the Mandakosamana family for Bhagavan, always smiling. This form she has not seen. She was terrified to go near him. She said, no, I will not go to him. He is not my husband at all. She also refused. Brahmaji ultimately came to Prahalad Maharaj. Prahalad, Lord appeared only for you, my dear Prahalad. Because your father caused so much harm to you, only to protect you, Lord appeared. Now you please. The Lord is still angry. We could not pacify him. You go and pacify Lord. Imagine 5 years old boy, Bhagavan in a furious state. His appearance itself is so fearsome, and great demigods dare not to go near Lord, but Prahalad Maharaj, he goes to Lord. He has no fear at all. Goes near him, he prostrates Lord with the folded hands. He stands before Lord. Lord was so compassionate. On seeing Prahalad, Lord became so ecstatic. He put his hands on Prahalad's head. The moment he put his lotus hand on Prahalad's head, he was completely purified. Prahalad was completely purified. Whatever little contamination, Prahalad is already a purified, exalted devotee only, but whatever little contamination he had, the moment Lord's hand touched him, he was purified. Then he started offering prayers to Lord. The prayers are contained in Canto 7, chapter 9, and starting from verse 8 and ending with verse 50, 43 prayer slokas. He offered prayers to Lord. Each sloka is a gem. But unfortunately, I don't have the time to read all the slokas. We don't have the time. Personally, I think, I'm sorry, I have crossed my time already. So, some important slokas we will see what Prahalad offers to Lord. Prahalad says, my dear Lord, I am born in a demonic family. I don't know how to suitably offer prayers to you to pacify you. Even great demigods headed by Brahma, Shiva, they offered prayers with their choicest words. They are all in the mode of goodness. They could not pacify you. How can I pacify you, my Lord? How can I offer you a prayer that will pacify you? I am not qualified. Like that, you see the humility of Prahalad. Such a humble boy, such a humble devotee, Prahalad. He says, I will not be able to pacify you. Still, whatever little I know, with my full endeavors, as far as my intelligence permits me, I will pray you. You please get pacified. Then verse 9. This verse 9 is a very, my dear devotee, this is a very, very wonderful prayer, this verse 9. Manye danabi janarupa tabasrutaujas tejam pramava balapurusha buddhi yoga Naradhanaya hi bhavanti parasya pumso bhaktya tutosha bhagavan gajayuda paya. He says, my Lord, a person may possess dhana, the first line if you see, dhana, and then abhijana. Dhana means wealth. Abhijana means born in an aristocratic family. Rupa means beauty. Tapas means austerity. And Sruta means knowledge, and Ojas means sensory prowess. So Teja, effulgence. Prabhava, influence. Bala means strength. Paurusha means diligence. And Buddhi means intelligence. Yoga means mystic yogic power. A person may possess all these things, my Lord, but can he satisfy you with all these things? I don't think. Only a devotee can satisfy my Lord. Na aradhanaya. Na means not. Aradhanaya. Only by worshipping your glories, only by chanting your glories, you can be satisfied. Not by this strength, health, money, materials, aristocratic family birth. All these things cannot satisfy you. Only this will satisfy you, my Lord. You please get pacified. Then in next verse 10, he's telling, a person may be born in a Brahmana, high caste Brahmana family, and he may possess all the 12 Brahminical qualifications. But if he's not your devotee, my Lord, what is the use of the Brahminical qualifications? On the other hand, if a person is born in a low caste Chandala family, still he is your devotee. It is sufficient. He will be able to purify his whole family. But the Brahmana with all the Brahminical qualifications, he is not even able to purify himself, my Lord. It is verse number 10. In verse number 11, he says, my Lord, you are always satisfied in yourself. If something is offered to you, it is not for your benefit. It is only for the benefit of the devotee who offers it to you. Because what is that we can offer you that you don't have? You have everything. So we cannot offer you anything that you don't possess. So Prabhupada in the purport, he says, we are chanting, we are hearing the glories of the Lord, not for the benefit of the Lord. Prabhupada says, it is only for you, only to purify you, you are glorifying the Lord. Lord is already glorious. What is that you are going to add to his glory by chanting? It is only for purifying you. Like that, Prahalad says, that's what Prahalad says, only by purifying, chanting your glories, one can purify yourself, not otherwise, my Lord. In another beautiful verse is 12. He says, Tasmatakam vikata viklave isvarasya sarvatmana mahigrinami yatamanisham nicho jaya guna visargamanu pravishta bhuyete yena himuman anuvarnitena. He's telling, I am born in a demonic family, but as far as my intelligence permits me, I will offer you prayers. A person, even if he is Nicho Jaya, so Nicho means Nicha family, if you born also, if he chants your prayers, if he glorifies you, you will be pleased. He will be delivered. I know that. That's what he says. And then in verse 15, it's a very wonderful verse 15. My Lord, you cannot be conquered. You are unconquerable. Your form is so fearsome and ferocious, but I am not afraid of the form, my dear Lord. Your mane is soaked in blood. The intestine is around your, as a garland around your neck. You are having a chisel like nails. You are having such a ferocious mouth and nostrils which resemble the caves in a mountain. But my Lord, I am not at all afraid of all these things. Prahalad Maharaj, he gives a message to us. A true devotee is not at all afraid by the form of the Lord, whether the Lord is in a pleasing form or in a fearsome form. A devotee is never afraid of that. Still, he is very happy to worship the Lord in that form. So I am also I am not afraid of your form, my Lord. In fact, I am so glad to worship you in that form. That's what Prahalad Maharaj offers prayers in 15. Then in verse 16, he says, okay, I am born in a demonic family, no doubt. It is my past karma. Prahalad Maharaj, such an exalted devotee, is telling, it is my past activities, past karma. I happen to be in the association of the demons. But you tell me, when will the time come that you will call me to your lotus feet, to shelter of your lotus feet, which is the ultimate goal for liberation from all material bondages, material life, is asking. In the next verse 17, he's telling, there are so many remedies are there to get out of this miserable life in this material world, my dear Lord. But engaging in your service is the ultimate remedy. Please instruct me to engage in the service, my dear Lord. In verse 18, he is telling, by engaging in your transcendental loving service, my Lord, in association with your pure devotee, I will not be influenced by the three modes of material nature. Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna I will not be influenced by them by engaging myself in your transcendental service. In that mood, I will be able to chant your prayers and cross the ocean of nescience. Nescience means ignorance. I will cross the world of ignorance. Then in verse 24, it's a beautiful verse 24. Verse 24 is Tasmadamustanupratam ahamasi shogye ayusriyam vipavamaindrima virinchat ne chamite vilulitan uruvikramene kalatmano panayamam nijapradasya parshvam. It's a very, very wonderful verse, my dear devotees. He says, important words if you look at, Urvikramena. Urvikramena means extremely powerful, the meaning of the word. Kalatmano, Bhagavan in the form of a kala, time. That's what he says. My dear Lord, I have seen my father from very close quarters, how he enjoyed his wealth, what is his material opulence, what is his longevity, what is his yogic powers, everything I have seen. But as an extremely powerful time, as Kalatmana, you destroyed them everything in a moment. So what is the use of all those things? He was extremely powerful. He has so many benedictions he had, but as an extremely powerful time, you destroyed. In a moment, you killed him. Therefore, I don't want to possess any of these material things. Instead, you please put me in the association of your pure devotee, whom I will serve. Nijavritti Parshyam. I will serve as a sincere servant. My Lord, you please put me as a servant of them. It gives us two important messages. All these material opulence and other material things which you are thinking, Prahalad Maharaj clearly says that they will disappear in a moment if the Lord thinks that way. They are all impermanent. So the ultimate thing is only Lord's lotus feet is the only refuge for us. So you take that. And also we should be put in the association of satsangam. We should be in the satsangam and we should serve our spiritual master. That is the only recourse available to us. That is what in this verse Prahalad Maharaj is telling. In verse 25, Prahalad Maharaj is telling, See, all the living entities in this world are interested only in happiness. They desire happiness. But unfortunately, my dear Lord, they don't know that happiness is like a mirage in a desert. The real happiness is your lotus feet. But unfortunately, these living entities are chasing a temporary happiness which is non-existent. You please save them. That is this prayer 25. My Lord, this the cosmic creation in verse 26 is telling, sorry, 31. This cosmic creation is caused by you. Therefore, you are the cosmos. But you keep yourself aloof from it. The conception of mind, yours, these are all illusion, my dear Lord, because everything is an emanation from you. Can you say that? I have this house, I have this much bank balance, I have such a beautiful array of cars. Some people are having 10 cars, 12 cars. They flaunt their material wealth like that without knowing that these are all temporary, everything belongs to Lord. They think that I am the owner of all these things. Are they the real owner? Bhagavan, Lord Krishna is the owner of everything, but unfortunately, people do not know all these things. They are thinking all this because of the concept of mind, that I, that ego makes them to think that they are the owner without, but I know that everything is an emanation from you, my Lord. In verse 40, it's also a beautiful verse. He says, my Lord, my condition is like that of a husband having multiple wives, each trying to attract me in their own ways. My tongue, it wants to taste palatable dishes. My belly wants to eat more though it is full. My genitals are interested in having sex with women. My ears are not at all interested in hearing your pastimes and glories. My eyes are interested in seeing the scenes which are sense gratifying. In that way, I don't have control over my senses, my Lord. These words come from such a devotee, my dear devotees, please understand, not from ordinary mortals like us. A pure Mahabhagavata words is telling, I am embarrassed. I am embarrassed, my Lord. Please help me to control these things. It's such a prayer he is giving to Lord. I am embarrassed by them. In verse 42, Prahalad Maharaj says, 42 and 43, my Lord, I don't mind about my existence in this material world because I know I will be absorbed in your thoughts. I'm absorbed in the thoughts of your glories. No problem for me. But I'm really worried about these foolish people who are interested in sense gratificatory things and maintenance of their family. I'm really concerned about them. If I get, if at all, liberation, no, I'm not interested in the liberation. By leaving these foolish people, until and unless I am able to bring them to the shelter of your lotus feet, my Lord. What a compassion, you see. That is what the hallmark of a pure devotee, compassion towards all the fellow human beings. Prahalad, such a wonderful, exalted devotee, he shows his extraordinary compassion to all these fellow beings by telling, without bringing them to the lotus feet, I do not want, even if you give liberation, I don't want to come to you. My Lord, you please bless me for that. Finally, my Lord, even the three modes of material nurture, nor the demigods controlling them, nor the five gross elements known as ether, fire, water, air, and earth, nor the mind, nor the demigod, nor the human being. Nobody can understand you, my Lord. Then who can understand? My Lord, you can be understood only by your devotee. These are all the some of the important prayers I thought I could share with you. And then the learnings from Prahalad prayers, the humility, Sloka 7.98, this humility he shows in this, I am not qualified. Only bhakti, not material qualifications, it is satisfied Lord, wealth and other things is immaterial to Lord. Caste or religion is immaterial to bhakti. It is verse number 10. Offering prayers and hearing is the glories only purifies the Lord. Purifies one. Verse 12. Devotional service is the only medium to get out of the miserable life. The worldly opulence is temporary. Verse 24. Material happiness is non-existence. Verse 25. The concept of mine and I is only an illusion. So verse 31. Man with the lusty desires, lamentations of fear and a desire for accumulation of wealth cannot progress in devotion service. Verse 39. Without the control of senses, there is no progress in Krishna consciousness. Verse 40. Compassion for fellow beings. 43. Verse 43. There are 10 prescribed methods for liberation, but the best is only devotion service. Verse 46. Only a pure devotee can understand Lord. Is verse 49. Bhagavan was immensely satisfied. He was immensely happy on the prayers. Now he is fully pacified. After hearing all these prayers, he says, my dear child Prahalad, I am extremely happy with the prayers you offer to me. Now I have come as in the incarnation as Narasimha. You tell me what benedictions you want. It is my duty to fulfill all the benedictions you want. Prahalad Maharaj, he declined the offer from Lord because Prahalad Maharaj felt benedictions are an impediment to the spiritual progress. It will increase our arrogance. It will increase our ego. He doesn't want to take any benediction from Lord. Lord said, my dear child, once I am pleased, once I am satisfied, and once I appear in this world, it is my duty that I should give some benedictions. So you ask me. Prahalad says, my dear Lord, do not induce me to ask you anything. Please don't induce me to ask you anything. There is a beautiful prayer. Prahalad says, Nanyatate akila guru gateta karunatmanaha yasta asisa asaste nasa britya samvaivane. You know what is the meaning? A person engaged in devotion service, if he asks for anything for his personal sense gratification, he is not a pure devotee, not even a devotee. At the most, he can call him as vanik merchant, engaged in giving and taking for making profit. Bhavane, you please don't induce me to ask anything. I will become a merchant otherwise. I don't want to be a merchant. Please let me be a humble devotee. You are a master, I am a servant. I don't want to become a merchant. Please don't induce me. Bhagavan, yes, he is defeated. The more he tries to persuade Prahalad Maharaj, more he declines. So Bhagavan is defeated and he loves to be defeated by his devotee. He doesn't mind that. Bhagavan is. But Prahalad Maharaj, he asks, because, my Lord, because you are asking me, I am asking two things. My father, out of ignorance, he kept on blaspheming you, my Lord. Out of sheer ignorance. He doesn't know your omnipotency and omnipresence and your lotus feet, the value of, he doesn't know out of ignorance. Please forgive Maharaj. Please, Maharaj, please forgive. He's begging to Lord. Lord said, my dear Prahalad, once it is not only your father, 21 generations before your father, I already liberated. Because they happen to be born in the family in which you are born. So where is the question of your father? 21 generations I already done. You ask me what you want, other thing. Without your Bhagavan, Prahalad asking, Bhagavan has already done. So you ask, what is that you want? My Lord, only one boon you give me. Just tell me, what is that you want? I should get a mind that should not induce me to ask you anything, man. That mind you give me. Such a child is asking Bhagavan, I should get a mind which should not induce me to ask you any boon or benediction from you. Bhagavan, you please give that boon. Bhagavan is immensely pleased to Prahalad, and he bless him. What else he will do? He is not taking any benediction. He heartily blesses Prahalad Maharaj and said, Prahalad, you will rule this world until the end of the Manvantara millennium, then you will come to me. You fix your mind on me and rule this world. Do all the sacrifices as per the Bhakti Yoga and rule this world. He also says in chapter 10, verse 14, anyone who remembers your activities and my activities also, and chant the prayers you have offered to me, I assure they will be relieved from all the reactions from all the material activities that I tell you. Bhagavan, he went one step further. In verse 21, he says, my dear Prahalad, those who follow your example automatically become my devotees. Not only that, you are the best of the devotees I have. That certificate Bhagavan gives. You are the best. And therefore, all others should follow in your footsteps. It is not for nothing we are keeping statue of Prahalad Maharaj next to our Narasimhadev. You can see, might have seen. He gives such a certificate. With my very, very limited knowledge in Srimad Bhagavatam, I have not seen any devotee having been told by Lord that you are the best devotee. Ambarish Maharaj, we are taking the greatest devotee, not out about that. If when a time comes in some other context, we'll talk about that. But Prahalad Maharaj, you are the best devotee, and all others will, follow your footsteps. That is, Narada Muni says in verse 47, he says to Yudhishthira Maharaj, one who hears the activities of Prahalad Maharaj, the killing of Hiranyakashipu, and the pastimes of Narasimhadev, they are sure to reach the spiritual abode. Respected Mataji, my dear devotees, my dear friends, all of you have today heard with attention the greatest part in Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 7 with attention, and I am sure with the blessings of Narasimhadev, all of you will reach the spiritual world after the end of your life, due life. With that, I would like to conclude my narration of this Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you so much. See, I am not an expert in Srimad Bhagavatam. I might have committed a number of offenses. As Vaishnavas, I request the pardon of all of you, and I also pray to Lord Nrsimhadev, who is so compassionate, to forgive me also if I have done any mistakes while narrating in the past tense. Hare Krishna.